Okay, let's dive right in, because a massive, and I mean truly massive, update to a familiar AI tool is here, and you are going to want to see what this thing can do. It's called Nano Banana Pro, and it's about to completely change the way you create.
So let's just get straight to the point. You know that feeling, right? You try to make a gorgeous AI image that has some text in it, especially in a language like Chinese, and what you get back is, well, it's just complete nonsense. It's been one of the biggest, most frustrating roadblocks for creators for a long time.
Well, get ready for this. That problem? It's over. It's done. Nano Banana Pro has basically cracked the code, especially for these complex languages, and it's breaking through a wall that has really limited AI creativity up until right now. What we're looking at here is a totally new level of AI image generation. Seriously, this isn't just a small patch or a minor update. We're talking about a fundamental shift built on a new architecture that has an incredible new understanding of the Chinese language, which, was a massive challenge for all the previous models. So here's the big deal. Nano Banana Pro is what they're calling a second-generation model. It was designed from the ground up to really get text and then render it perfectly inside an image with unbelievable accuracy. No more fixing things in another program, no more just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. You ask for text, you get perfect text.
So, all that tech is great, but what can you actually do with it? Let's kick things off with a few absolute game changers for anyone in marketing or design.
Okay, picture this. You're organizing a company event. You need a poster, and you need it, like, yesterday. You've got all the info, but maybe not the design skills or the time to spare. Before, this was a huge headache. Now, it's just a single sentence. You literally just feed it the details, a headline, a subheadline, the date and time for your company family day. You can even tell it the style you want, say a 3D Pixar look, and boom, out comes a perfect, print-ready poster in seconds. The text is crisp, it's accurate, and it's placed exactly where a designer would put it.
All right, here's another one I'm sure you've run into. You've got this brilliant idea for a new product. You've even sketched it out on a napkin, but it's just a rough drawing. How in the world do you show its potential to investors or your team? Well, now you just upload that simple sketch. With one command, Nano Banana Pro turns it into a professional, photorealistic 3D render. I'm not kidding. We're talking a real hero shot, the kind you'd see in a commercial, complete with dynamic lighting and materials that look so real you could touch them. It is absolutely stunning. And get this, it's not just about putting text on an image. It's about the text becoming the image. Do you want your brand name to look like it's made of flowing water? Or maybe roaring fire? How about fluffy animal fur? You can now turn words into any texture or material you can possibly imagine. It just opens up this whole wild new universe for logos and creative branding.
You can even take that a giant step further and generate an entire mini brand guide. For instance, you could type in a brand name like Mu Sheng Xuan Pin and ask for a logo, a matching color palette, and even mock-ups of what it would look like on packaging, all in one go. It gives you an instant visual identity you can start building on right away.
Okay, let's switch gears for a second. This stuff isn't just for the big corporate world. The things that independent creators, teachers, and even students can do now are just as revolutionary.
Think about this. You're opening a little cafe or a restaurant. You can now generate a complete professional-looking menu, even with bilingual text. But here's the real kicker. You can also tell it to generate delicious, photorealistic images for each dish and put them right there on the menu. It looks incredible.
And for education, this is a superpower. You can instantly create flashcards for famous landmarks with key historical facts embedded right on the card. You can generate clear, labeled diagrams of really complex things, like cell division. You can even take an abstract idea, like the hero's journey, and turn it into a visual summary that just makes sense. Learning is about to get a whole lot more engaging.
So we've seen what it can create, but let's talk about how you create it. Because the level of control you have now is just, there's no other word for it. It's unprecedented.
Do you remember struggling with aspect ratios? You try to get a cool wide shot and the AI just awkwardly crops someone's head off? Yeah, those days are over. You can now generate an image in any aspect ratio you want, from a vertical phone story to a super wide cinematic shot, and the composition feels right every single time.
All right, now for what I think is easily the most mind-blowing feature of them all. Let's put this thing to the ultimate test. Can it actually understand and visualize a whole story? Can it create a multi-panel movie storyboard from nothing but a short script?
The answer is a huge, resounding yes.
We gave it this simple 4-part story about a world where everyone is glued to their devices and one person starts a movement to get them to look up. And just look at this. It generated a coherent multi-image storyboard that tells that exact story, shot for shot, complete with cinematic angles and even descriptive text for each scene. This is storytelling, basically automated.
So, from product mock-ups to entire storyboards, the power has clearly shifted. These are not just cool little tricks anymore. They are professional-grade creative tools that are now available to, well, everybody.
We've just walked through 12 of these game-changing applications. But what's so exciting is that this is really just scratching the surface. This is just the beginning of what's now possible.
So who is all this for? Well, it's for students who want to make their study guides pop. It's for entrepreneurs trying to bring an idea to life. It's for marketers, for content creators, for writers. Honestly, it's for anyone out there with a creative spark.
Which really brings us to the final and most important point. The tools are here. The old limitations are just disappearing. So the only question left to ask is, with this kind of power at your fingertips, what's your next great idea going to be?